I'd like just to start off with a couple of thanks. The first is to Nikki for coming on board and being chair of our trustees. She's brought enormous organisation and sensibility. I think without her we wouldn't be here today. And I'd also like to thank Bryn Neal and Tim Barnard for their professional expertise and their wisdom, which have been most helpful. I'm very honoured to be called the founder here. If you talk to my dear wife, she'll tell you that I've never found anything in my life unless I've asked her first as to where it is. So she's been very bound up in this too. They say that a man marries his wife, and the most important thing that she does for him is to try to prevent him looking a fool. To a large part, Nathan's actually done that very well, and I thank him for that. Well, what are we here all about? We've had a lot of wisdom, we've had a lot of things, but how are we as Chiltern Compass actually going to do it? Well, first of all, we're here to help, and and we help in whatever way we can. We've got a very eclectic team of people available to us. Some of them are here today, and some are not. And if you can think of something that we can help with that's related to end of life or something, then we will do our very best to try and meet those needs wherever they are. Those needs are very personal, they're for individual people. And one of the things that, and it's been touched on, the most important thing that we do is actually how do we meet up to and challenge the fear that the thought of dying. And the fear is, as Ros was saying, is not only in the patient or in the person, but also often in the professional staff who are doing it. And one of the things that we feel very conscious about is making sure that we can reduce the fear. Fear is an enormous barrier to change, to living, and to having a good quality of life. And the other thing that we think is very important is that we don't believe there's any right or necessarily any wrong way of doing this. The only right way is your way and the way you want to do it. And Chiltern Compass is bound to actually just support you in doing what it is that you think is right and you is wrong. We have our own personal views, but we promise you that we will never ever, whether it's about the way you die, whether it's about your beliefs or your values, then we will never ever impress ours upon you. We hope that you see that the way we act is actually the values that we hold important to us. And the other thing that we see is, and this has been stressed before both by Elizabeth Howe and Ros Taylor, is how important it is to live life to the full. This is all about living. It isn't necessarily all about dying. So how are we going to put that into place? Well, we won't have death cafes specifically, but we're calling ours talk-in shops, where people can actually drop in. And the first one that we've got is in King's Church at Top Amersham on the 2nd of November. And this will be advertised on our website and in the local press. So we hope that you will be able to come to it. Our website has been mentioned before, and that's been deliberately done so that in fact you can't or don't want to go to a meeting, but you want to do it for yourself, the DIY approach, if you like, then then you can do it. It's also got the contacts and everything else and the networking. We've got links to a whole variety of community organisations on it that in fact you can use. We hope that you don't mainly want to do the DIY, because we hope that you'll be able to come to us, because we value the networking and the relationships that we have with you. You'll see that in the back there we've also got the planning books, for which again we thank Finity for, because we've pinched them lock, stock and barrel, so to speak, from Finity, and they're very good. And each one of you can take away one of those books, we're very grateful for your being here. And I suppose in a way that's our present for saying thank you for coming. So do please take one of those books with you. But we are different, or at least we think we're different, from other organisations that have done this. We're not just here about individuals talking to people, we're here about communities. And if you believe in anything about complexity and complex systems, you know that there's a tension between the individual and groups of people and populations. It happens in medicine when you're talking about individual patients, when you're talking about population management. It's the same is true in law, where you're talking about the individual person who may be being charged and the common good. All these tensions exist everywhere else, and we recognize it, and managing that tension is actually going to be crucial to what we do and to our success or not. And so to that extent, we have gone and to the community as a whole. And as John said, no man is an island unto himself. And when you look at some of the important events in our lives, being born, being named, being married, and our funerals, they're rarely done in total privacy. There's nearly always people being involved. And if you're married, you put a notice in the papers, or you may or may not do. The bells of the church ring, and so everybody can know what has actually happened. That's so the community can actually take part. And so the community it is that provides the infrastructure, the support, and most importantly, provides the ethical background. Because if we talk about it, if we're open about it, then we don't have to worry about some of the things like the Shipman episode, which has done so much harm. That's not to say it's totally wrong for it to happen, but the way it was actually handled has actually done nothing for the common good. In fact, it's made everything worse. And so what we're hoping to do is to go out to the community, to organisations, to run workshops. We want to train other people, volunteers, not only for ourselves, but if you've got an organisation and you've got a volunteer who's interested in it, please let them come to us in order to be trained and know what they're doing. So we hope that link person, and what our real test for whether what we actually do is whether or not we have developed stronger communities. When Joe and I were working with Finity, I said then, I thought one of the biggest tests of whether we were successful is whether in a community, a single mother came and settled down and said, yes, this is a good place to live. And if we made it a good place to live because we've talked about our lives and how they end, then that for us will be real success. So Chiltern Compass, it is a compass, it's a unique compass. It's only got 3 cardinal points and not 4. The 3 cardinal points, love well, live well, and leave well as the direction. We will never tell you where to go or how to go. But if you come and tell us where you'd like to go, we can at least point you with our compass in the right direction. We may be able to help you over a stile or 2 on your journey, but you choose where you want to go and how you want to do it. We think there's no judgment. In my own personal view, the only thing that is wrong is not to make those choices about the journey you actually want to go. If you take those cardinal points and mix them up, you know, I have an old boat which I love sailing, and when somebody else is on the helm, you'll say steer north by west or south southwest or something else. Take the words live well, love well, live well, leave well, and mix them up, and you suddenly find that I will leave well by loving, not go south by north, but I will leave well by loving, or I will live well because I planned for leaving well. Those 3 are not separate cardinal points, and as any sailor will know, you have to use them all in fact together. So thank you for coming. We hope that over the years that we're able to help somebody to make our community stronger. And I suppose if in a perfect world, we'd actually find that we are no longer necessary. And may that time eventually come. So thank you all very much indeed. Thank you.